Thanks for having me on, sir. It's a pleasure.
Fantastic. Well, Judd, you are doing some very important work, and you have been for many, many years. So please tell my audience who you are and what it is that you do.
My name is Judd Saul. I'm the executive director of an organization called Equipping the Persecuted. We've been a boots on the ground mission in Nigeria since 2019, responding to attacks within 48 hours, doing the best we can to respond to those attacks. We've been solely dedicated to helping persecuted Christians in Nigeria in any way we can, not only with humanitarian aid, but also trying to work on preventative measures to stop the killing.
And for people who aren't familiar with the situation that's been going on in Nigeria for the past couple decades, and which is finally getting more international light now, can you just give an overview of what's going on?
Well, currently what's happening is over time, over the last 30, 40 years, you've seen incremental increase in radical Islam invading Nigeria from the north, and they've been conquering little by little, community after community, over a certain period of time. And what we're witnessing right now is a major clash of that, because it's now entering very large Christian populations, and they have systematically been trying to take out one Christian village after another. I call it death by 1,000 attacks. And since, I'd say, over the last 20 years, we've seen well over 600 Christian communities completely wiped off the map. And the survivors of these attacks, of the survivors of these from these communities, have been shoved and pushed into what we call IDP camps, which stands for internally displaced person. And currently there's over 3.5 million Christian IDPs. And as far as the killing statistics are concerned, 7,000 Christians have been killed since January 2025 alone. But on average, between 17 and 35 Christians are killed per day in Nigeria.
Wow. And who is it that's doing the killing?
The main perpetrators of the killing are the Fulani ethnic militia. This is a tribe that's not indigenous to Nigeria, but they have been slowly moving in from the north, from Chad, Niger, all over the Sahel, and they have set their eyes and focus on Nigeria. And they have the goal of turning Nigeria into a caliphate. And it's been the Fulani ethnic militia. You have Boko Haram up north, you have ISIS of West Africa doing their thing, but the genocide against Christians has been committed by the Fulani ethnic militia.
And how long has this been going on for my listeners?
It's been going on for a long time, very, very slowly, but you saw things pick up in 2001, actually during 9/11. There were major attacks that happened in Jos, Nigeria, and that was kind of the launch point of this new conquest. And then over time, especially under the last three presidential terms here in Nigeria, where we've had a Muslim president for the last three terms in Nigeria, and you saw the attacks rapidly increase because they've gotten more political cover and more military cover, allowing the terrorists to commit these attacks.
Yeah, and just for my listeners who are not familiar with the geography of Nigeria, and I don't necessarily expect you to be, the north is predominantly Muslim, whilst the south is predominantly Christian. There are hundreds of different ethnic groups in Nigeria, as well as hundreds of different languages. So it's one big country that probably should be a lot of multiple countries. I think when a lot of Westerners think about Nigeria and other African nations, they kind of just think, well, everyone's black, everyone's Nigerian, so they're, all kind of the same community. It's not like that at all. And some of the tensions that exist between the different tribes and ethnic groups are much, much, much higher and far more inflamed than what people might consider racism, say, in North America or in Europe. So despite people, on a surface level, perhaps looking similar to an outsider, there is a lot of tension, and there has been for many, many decades, if not centuries.
Yeah, Nigeria essentially was a British colony. They came in and they just drew artificial borders and said, this is going to be Nigeria, without any regard for the tribal areas, the tribal territories, the various groups, and they said, you're going to be one country, and that's it. And then after Nigeria gained its independence, those factions, those different groups. There's always been conflicts between various tribes. But what Nigeria is facing overall is an invading tribe from the north that doesn't care about the other tribal territories. They want to take over Nigeria for themselves. And that's the situation we see ourselves in now.
So, out of curiosity, Judd, I want to know a little bit more about your story and how you even got involved with this. What put this issue on your radar? And perhaps even more importantly, what made you decide to take action and get involved in the way that you have?
I first came here in 2011 with my grandfather, who's an evangelist missionary. He's started working with a mission based in Jos, and I just felt that I could help that mission out a little bit. I felt the calling to serve, and I came to Nigeria for the first time. And I fell in love with the people, fell in love with the country. And as I started coming back, wanting to serve, wanting to help out our fellow brothers and sisters here in Nigeria, I saw what was going on. I saw these attacks increase. And I saw very few organizations actually doing something about it. We see a lot of talk, but no action. You see people coming in, taking pictures of a terrible situation, raising money on it, but doing very little to actually help people. So I wanted to create an organization that actually helps persecuted Christians, is boots on the ground in Nigeria. And that's how we started.
I hear that, and it's very admirable. So, why is this situation just now starting to get more attention and coverage? And why are there so many different narratives, both within and outside of Nigeria, as to what is going on? Because it's very strange. It seems like people are getting information from completely different sources, which I guess is not specific to this particular situation. But there really seems to be a lot of confusion and various types of information, misinformation, disinformation that's flying around right now.
That's a loaded question, and I will do my best to answer it and try to bring clarification to what's happening in Nigeria and why a lot of people are getting misinformation from various camps. The first thing is this, is that the current state of the Nigerian government is guilty of being complicit in the killings against Christians. When Trump came out and made his statement recently, that made everybody scramble. That's making the Nigerian government scramble. They do not know what to do. But their first reaction is to deny what Trump is saying. I have been advocating for sanctions and some sort of recognition by the U.S. government on what's going on for years. I've been going to D.C. for years, providing evidence, providing documentation, showing the U.S. government what's going on. But for many years, the U.S. government turned a blind eye to it, especially with the previous administration. And now we have an administration that's actually willing to look at the facts and see what's happening. But the Nigerian government has a vested interest in not being designated as a country of particular concern. They have a vested interest in denying the genocide against Christians. Because if Nigeria is recognized as a country where there's genocide, you're going to see massive sanctions take place. You're going to see the foreign aid money dry up. You're going to see foreign investment dry up. And so they've always pushed this narrative of farmer-herder clashes, or unknown gunmen, or bandits. And the whole line is, well, they're killing Muslims too, and yeah, Christians are being killed too, but it's just everybody. It's not a genocide, which is not the facts. That's not really what's happening. And the Nigerian government, so this is how Nigerian news works. So I'll explain this to your folks so they get this. Nigerian news works this way. Let's say an attack occurs. The Nigerian government says this attack's bad enough, we actually need to address it. So they put on a press conference. They pay the journalists to show up, and the journalists are told to rewrite what the government told them to do. There's no investigative journalism. There's no questions. It's just they come up with a press event. The Nigerian government makes its statements. They write it down, and then it goes out. Well, after that's done, that information is taken to Al Jazeera, and then that goes to the mainstream media. So it goes through several filters before it gets to the mainstream media. And what we find is that the number of deaths that have occurred are always downplayed. So let's say there was 280 killed in one attack, they'll say it was 100. Let's say we have eyewitnesses that state it was the Fulani ethnic militia that's doing the killing. We know who did this. We know where they came from. We know what weapons they used. But all this information is completely wiped out and voided from the actual press releases that get out to the mainstream media. And that's why there's so many false narratives, because the BBC and several other news outlets will go, well, the AP article says this. They must know what's going on. Well, the person that wrote the AP article never did any investigative journalism or asked any real questions. And that is why there's such a false narrative going on, because the Nigerian government is vested in making sure that Nigeria doesn't have any accusations of genocide or designated a country of particular concern, because money will dry up from foreign interests that are giving them aid in doing business.
Yeah. Ooh, it's messed up. So you've used the term genocide quite a few times here. How do I phrase this? Is this truly what is going on? Because this is one of those terms which, sadly, I think over the last few years, it's lost a little bit of its meaning or its potency, because it's been used quite liberally. Whereas I don't know I have not looked up the exact specific dictionary definition or international legal definition of what a genocide is. It certainly seems like the people who are committing these atrocities are genocidal themselves, but is there a certain, are there certain statistics that need to be reached for something to be classified as that, or is it just a matter of intent? How is that framed?
A genocide is a targeting of a specific group of people that are innocent, they're not armed, you're not in a war conflict. So if you're targeting and trying to kill a large group of people, regardless of where they come from or what ethnicity they are, if you are targeting that group for a specific purpose of killing them and removing them from their communities, that is genocide by definition. And what we're witnessing is a real genocide against Christians in Nigeria, because, and we can say Christians specifically, because they are wiping entire Christian communities off the map and taking over territory and killing as many as they can and shoving them and removing them from where they lived. It's not an armed conflict, because the terrorists have the weapons, the Christians don't. They are defenseless. And they have a government that's supposed to protect them that is not doing their job.
Further to what you said, what is the situation with the military and the police?
The military and the police, according to all of our evidence and documentation, is that they are ordered to stand down when attacks occur. There is very little evidence of any police or military engagement when these massacres happen. And I'd like to point to a specific incident that happened in June in Benue State, Nigeria, in a town called Yelwada, where 280 Christians were massacred. Half of them were burned alive. The other half were killed because they were trying to escape being burned alive. TruthNigeria.com, which is another website that I started, giving access to citizen journalists in Nigeria to actually document what is happening and share with what's going on. We had intelligence 3 weeks out that Yelwada was going to be attacked. We gave notification to the police, to the military, to the Nigerian DSS that this attack was going to occur. No response. 24 hours before the attack happened, we got word that there's 200 Fulani on motorcycles with RPGs and AK-47s headed toward Gelawada. People saw something. They told us. They were telling other people. They're on the way. They're going to attack. The Nigerian government did nothing. The police and military were ordered to stand down. Then the attack occurred for over 4.5 hours, and there was no intervention by the police or military. And people that were surviving and running away from the attacks were calling the military, calling the police, asking them to come help. And no one showed up until an hour after the attack occurred. This is one clear example out of over 100 that we have documented since 2024, where they had credible intelligence, the police and military were notified, and the government did nothing.
And a lot of churches have been destroyed as well. Can you give some facts and figures on this so that people understand the scale of what's been happening?
We estimate well over 10,000 churches have been completely wiped off the map. And these aren't churches that are failing because congregations got angry and split and went somewhere else. These are churches that have been physically burned and destroyed by the Fulani ethnic militia. Well over 10,000. One of our journalists at Truth Nigeria is coming out with a report really soon. But in just a small section in the community in Taraba, we have over 60 churches. I mean, not the entire state. I'm just talking a small 2 local government areas where over 60 churches have been completely razed, burned to the ground, and the populations have been completely displaced. That's just one example out of all the many that have happened all across the Middle Belt in northern Nigeria. They like to destroy the churches and they like to kill the pastors. This has been a common thread. They target the pastors, they target the churches. Those get destroyed first, then they go after the population.
Jeez. What do you respond? How do you respond to people who play the both sides angle? You've touched on this before, but there are people who, if you talk about this in person or publicly or online, they'll say, well, this has nothing to do with religion or even ethnicity. This is just, it's the bandit narrative, right? Christians are being killed, Muslims are being killed. I've heard some people say that more Muslims are being killed than Christians, which does not track with my knowledge and information sources. But how do you respond to that?
I don't know why they believe that narrative, but I can tell you where they're getting their information is completely wrong. Now, people are like, well, where do I get my information? I get my information from the ground because I show up. I come to Nigeria. I talk to the witnesses. We send people in to where the attacks occur. We count the dead bodies. We have real life information about what's happening, not some policy wonk sitting in DC or somebody in Switzerland going, well, this is what I heard. This is what's really happening. They've never been here. They haven't seen the destroyed churches. They haven't seen the destroyed communities like I have. They haven't talked to eyewitnesses like I have. And for them to say, well, it's both, it's just both, they're buying into a false narrative, and you're doing what the enemy wants you to do. You're laying cover for the people committing genocide when you buy into that narrative. So that's what I say to them. I say, you're complicit in the killing of Christians if you believe this BS narrative.
What do you think is going on there? I have my own theories, I guess, but I'm trying to kind of understand the psychology here. I think that in the West, obviously in the West, for instance, before we were born, whether you're from Western Europe or the UK or US or Canada, Australia, Christianity has been the dominant religion. And I think in the West, Christianity is thought of, quote unquote, as like a white man's religion. Like there's a lot of ignorance, not recognizing actually that there are far more Christians in Africa and I'd imagine in Asia than there are in the West if you're talking sheer numbers. And even as a percentage of the population, there are many countries, say in Africa, which have a much higher percentage of Christians than the UK, US, or Australia do. So it seems like it's a bit of a convenient narrative. Like if you think of the kind of Western, I don't know, the kind of, especially the more like liberal progressive worldview, where it's like Christianity is somehow associated with whiteness, and that's kind of bad, and there's this guilt about that, and it's not considered like a minority thing. Like the idea that Christians are persecuted sounds kind of weird. Westerners, it seems very foreign. So when there's this situation that's going on somewhere like Nigeria, where very clearly Christians are being not just persecuted, but being killed, being massacred, and people are turning a blind eye, it seems to not really fit in people's worldview. And when it doesn't fit in someone's worldview, I think they ignore or reject it, or they say, no, that can't be happening because according to my worldview, that doesn't make sense, right? Like, firstly, Christians aren't brown, but also, like, that's the dominant majority thing. Like, how can they be the ones being persecuted? So that's my sort of theory on what's going on here, because I think if it were perhaps an ethnic group that's smaller and less globally represented where this was going on, I don't think people would be so quick to turn a blind eye, or to, I don't know, just to act like nothing is happening.
Intersectionality is not reality. Is my response to that. Intersectionality is not reality. I believe in right and wrong. And what is wrong is for innocent people to be slaughtered and removed from their homes, regardless of what you think is the majority, or what power structure you think exists, or what paradigm your worldview is in. I think everybody should be able to agree that the killing of innocent people is wrong. Young women, children, elderly being slaughtered and hacked to death with machetes and being shot for doing nothing wrong. I think everybody should come together and agree that's wrong, and quit playing this stupid power dynamic of majority versus minority group and power structure. It's nonsense. Let's just be humans for a moment and say, can we all say that the killing of innocent people is wrong?
I used to think when I was younger and more naive that everyone agreed with that statement, and I've learned over the course of time, sadly, that it's not quite as universal as I previously thought.
These same people that want to play this neutral ground and want to play power structure games, they're the ones allowing, and they're complicit in the genocide against innocents. I don't care what group of people it is, you're complicit in the genocide against innocents by playing these stupid games. That's my response to those people. Now, my word, yeah, people do that, and it just boggles my mind of how somebody can do that. But yeah, one of the things I was gonna get at is that when you look at Islam, radical Islam, and how they conquer territory, they've done the same thing since 640 AD. They move in, cultural jihad, they get the politics, and then they start committing violent jihad, which is conquering and killing their way to take over territory. Death by conversion, convert or die. This is how it has spread throughout all of Africa, throughout the Middle East. Now, the Middle East was once all Christian. Northern Africa was once all Christian. Entire sections of Europe were all Christian. Then the Ottoman Empire came along and conquered most of Europe. So to look at this as saying minority versus majority, what we're seeing is a dominant, radicalized religion of radical Islam that is coming in and killing and taking over territory. Now, anybody with a heart, even moderate Muslims with a heart, should look at this and say, this is bad, and this should stop.
Yeah, it's these things are very interesting for me because I grew up in Saudi Arabia. I lived in Saudi Arabia for 20 years, and I now live in the United Arab Emirates, right? So I've spent a lot of my life living in predominantly Muslim countries, and one thing that's very fascinating about the UAE in particular is how they're so much less tolerant of this type of extremism and violence and atrocities than many Western nations are. Like, I'm from the UK, and there are literally Muslim terrorist groups that are banned in the UAE and other Gulf countries, which are totally allowed and expanding in the UK. Like, there's more extremism coming out of the UK, Muslim extremism coming out of the UK than coming out of the region of the Middle East that I live in. And it's very odd. I think there's this gigantic blind spot in the West where I don't know. It's a strange one. But with all that said, in recent in recent weeks, there have been some updates on what's going on. As we've touched on, President Trump has put out a statement. The U.S. administration has put out a statement. Have they now officially declared Nigeria a country of particular concern? Is that set in stone now, or is the idea being floated around? Where are we at the moment?
Trump, I believe, has designated, well, he's called for the designation of it. He hasn't fully done it himself. You have to wait for Congress and Senate to officially declare country of particular concern. But Trump has moved forward. I believe he has the power to start sanctioning and start doing some things. Congress has to do their job and act. And I believe it will eventually happen. And what I would like to see is the Nigerian government just do the right thing and protect its own citizens without U.S. having to send military in and go to that extent. But I do believe that an intervention needs to happen one way or another eventually. But my prayer and hope is that the Nigerian government is incentivized and decides it loves innocent Nigerians more than it loves its terrorists. And they start taking action and defending the defenseless.
Yeah. Can you just explain to people a little bit more of what it means for a country to be a country of particular concern? Because I don't think most people had heard that until very recently.
Yeah, it's such a weird term, country of particular concern. What does that mean? Well, it means that there's now U.S. resources focused on Nigeria. They're really monitoring the situation. They're going to start putting government resources into monitoring, watching, and investigating a little bit more. But what it also does, it puts them on the list and it tells the rest of the international community that there are bad things happening in Nigeria. Don't do business with them. Don't give aid. Don't give, World Bank, quit giving them loans until this situation is addressed. And I believe that the CPC is going to be followed up with real sanctions, and we'll see what happens. But I think we're right. I think we're just about there.
Yeah. And how would sanctions help the situation? Can you kind of walk us through that? Because when you say the cutting off of aid, I think a lot of people would think, well, wouldn't that hurt the general population rather than the government? How does that work?
Well, in theory, cutting off aid would hurt the general population, but in reality, it would prevent a lot of money getting into the pockets of corrupt politicians in Nigeria. And I think most people know that. I would hope they would know that. Because the aid that's supposedly been coming into Africa, the vast majority of it gets siphoned off before it actually gets to the people that need it. And so it's going to hurt their pocketbooks. And I think sanctions as well, where the World Bank will stop giving them loans. Americans would stop doing business with Nigeria if there's sanctions. And also, let's just be honest, there's a lot of Nigerian politicians that like to travel to the U.S. and go on vacation. Their visas would get revoked and they wouldn't be allowed to come to the U.S. anymore. And also, there would also be a prevention of, and a close eye on, dollars leaving the United States going into Nigeria. So a lot of funding would get cut off. And you hurt the pocketbook. I think it would hurt them more economically doing that than any benefit they're getting from the terrorists.
Yeah. And what's the climate like in Nigeria now that the USA has made an official statement that there could be some type of intervention. Online, I have seen mixed reactions. I've seen Nigerians at home and abroad saying, yes, this is good. The USA is finally paying attention and we would like somebody to step in. I am seeing other people saying, oh, this is just the USA trying to, invade another oil-rich country for their own benefits. And then I'm also just seeing people say, hey, this is not the USA's business. They should stay out of it. So I'm curious as to, in your experience, from what you're seeing and hearing, is there a general consensus on whether or not this is good for Nigeria and the Nigerian people?
Well, as of right now, I haven't seen the Nigerian government really doing anything to protect people as of yet. There have been attacks since Trump came out and spoke out about Nigeria. There's been attacks in Plateau. There was just an attack in Benue today, out on the road. There are people still being killed every day, and the Nigerian government really hasn't taken it seriously on the ground yet. And I'm praying that stops, that they do start taking this very seriously. Politically, they're scrambling. Because let's just be honest, if we shine a light into this darkness of corruption, I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of Nigerian politicians that have their hands dirty, if you know what I mean. So they are scrambling right now to lay cover and come up with any kind of narrative other than the truth. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, I hear that. I want to talk a little bit more about the work that your organization is doing and has been doing. How are you helping the victims and the people who are at risk of becoming victims?
So we respond to attacks within 48 hours. These are people that were already living in abject poverty. The average Nigerian makes less than $100 a month. So imagine your entire village gets burnt to the ground. You've lost several family members. You can no longer go back to your farm the way you were living before. You have nothing left literally but the clothes on your backs. And in many cases, you've been wounded in these attacks and haven't had any treatment. So we come along with food, medicine, and aid. And we also help pay for the surgeries and help the wounded recover from their wounds. Machete wounds, bullet wounds, you name it. We try to help where we can. And then, like I said, we have 3.5 million displaced Christians living in camps. Well, a lot of these camps, they don't get help from the Nigerian government. They don't get help from the international community. So with what little resources we have, when we have it available, we deliver food. We also come in, send doctors and nurses and loads of medication to help treat the malaria, the typhoid, and the various diseases that they are getting because of the terrible unsanitary conditions that they're living in inside these camps. And the thing that makes us controversial versus other organizations is we work with village security teams. We train them on security awareness. We help provide them with radios, locally sourced bulletproof vests. And we try to train them and teach them on, if a situation comes to your village, how do you respond? Who's the first line of defense? How do we evacuate people? How do we save as many lives as possible? And we're the only organization on the ground doing that here in Nigeria. And it has been very effective. The other thing we do is truthnigeria.com, where we document and share what's really happening in Nigeria. But not only that, we've been issuing terror alerts. 100 terror alerts since 2024 with 89% accuracy. So we're doing everything we can to prevent the killing, to prevent the persecution, and to save lives. And that's what our organization does.
Yeah. Why is the defense and training aspect controversial? Why should that be controversial?
Oh, you get in different denominations in the Christian world. They don't believe in the thing called self-defense. They think they live in this world where they have a glorification of persecution and think it's glorious to watch your family be massacred, burn, and die. And I don't practice that kind of Christianity. I practice a very masculine form of Christianity, which says Christians do have a right to defend their homes, defend their families, and their communities. I'm not saying go out and aggress and go attack another community, but you darn well have a God-given right to defend yourselves and your community.
Yeah, of course, obviously. Is that criticism coming from within Nigeria, like Christian organizations and churches within the country, or do you mean more internationally?
No. Some Christian organizations, some Christian denominations. The crazy thing is when I talk to pastors and we talk to other Christians, we ask them, like, why aren't you guys politically engaged? Why aren't you engaged, in this? And somehow, somewhere down the road, some bad theology got to the Christians where they were taught it was a sin to get involved in politics, and it was a sin to defend yourself. And we're trying to correct that bad theology here. But believe it or not, I mean, I've had pastors crying and grabbing onto me, going, "Thank you for clarifying this. I knew something was wrong with this in my heart. I just knew something was wrong. Thank you for clarifying this." Men and pastors in tears, hugging me, thanking me for correcting the narrative on this.
Well, maybe it's sort of the turn the other cheek, taken to the extreme, resulting
way
in,
beyond what it's meant to say.
Yeah. So, for people who are listening, how can people who are listening and people who care, which I think would be the majority of people who do hear this, how can they help? Because I know a couple of weeks ago, one of the big goals was to get this on the radar of President Trump and his administration, and to make a specific statement about the persecution of Christians in Nigeria, and that has happened now. And I know that lots of people were writing in, I think, to their congressmen and women specifically about this issue, and it looks like that was successful. That's how that appears to me. So what is the next step in terms of how, a normal everyday person, whether they're in the US or the UK or Nigeria itself, wherever they are, how can they get involved? How can they help?
We need all the help we can get. One of the ways is partner with our organization, equippingthepersecuted.org. We're the boots on the ground mission. The politics is going to play itself out doing whatever they can do, but I can tell you right now on the ground, we have Christians that are starving and dying of disease that need help immediately. There are still attacks that are occurring. Christians in Nigeria need all the help they can get. And that is what Equipping the Persecuted is here for, is to be the boots on the ground, the hands and feet of Jesus, helping those in the most dire of need. And that is who we are. And I'd love it if you would partner with us at equippingthepersecuted.org, and then add the plight of the persecuted to your prayers. Put it on your prayer list. We need all the prayers we can get.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll make sure that the link is very prominent in the description. If you're listening to this podcast, if you're watching it, I'm going to make sure that the link is there so that people can contribute. Is there anything else about this situation which you feel like it's important for people to know?
I think people need to realize, geopolitically, and I didn't make the statement, but geopolitically, if Nigeria falls, so does the rest of Africa. Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa. It's one of the most mineral-rich countries in Africa. If Nigeria falls to the wrong hands, this will cascade, and millions more will die if something isn't done at this point in time in history. Right now is the time for intervention to prevent more mass death and a collapse of what could be the cascading downfall effect for all of Africa. People need to realize how important this is. It's not just little isolated attacks. You got to look at the bigger picture. If something isn't done now, it's going to get exponentially worse in the future.
Yeah, and it'll be harder to fight the later it's left. Judd, it's a difficult discussion. It's hard to talk about these topics, which is, I think a lot of people shy away from it.
All right, there's another video I'm gonna play for you guys, and then we'll wrap it up. I don't really have much time tonight. Sorry.
Let me quickly quash another lie we tell. And I've been hearing that lie a lot in the security circle. The reason why we don't want to go in there and fight these bandits and recover these people is to avoid collateral damage. It's a lie. I'll remind you, 2020, an American, Walton, was arrested by a bandits group or terrorists, a bunch of terrorists. 6 of them, they took him. The Americans contacted the same Nigerian government. They got intel about where he was. They brought in Naval SEAL into this country, conducted an operation, killed 6 of the terrorists, evacuated the man, took him to the American embassy in Niamey in Niger, from there en route to America. President Trump went on the air and bragged about it. Our own, we never see the bandits being killed in the rescue. You heard what Professor Bolaji Akinyemi said that day. When we did everything and we're ready for the Americans to be to fight Boko Haram, all of a sudden, as regards the Chibok girls, we saw that the gas mask, terrorists were already wearing them. The gas mask they were supposed to get. So who is doing the infiltration? And this pattern is repetitive. The question is, when next will it happen? And when it happens next, it's still going to be the same modus operandi. The government will never hear that in the rescue operation, they get these people killed. Every effort to get these people killed, they stopped it. President Buhari, the first thing he did when he came into power was he stopped that agreement that the Jonathan government had with mercenaries. So you see, while we deceive ourselves with a false illusion that yes, they are back home, what were the terms and conditions? What did we lose? We lost the fear of the state, because the state is supposed to have the autonomy of violence. If there's any non-state actors that has more violence than the states, then go back to section 14, section 2. The protection and the security is hampered. Then what happens? The state has broken the social contract with the people. And I have a premise to call for the resignation of the president. So I think I've made that point clear. So while we celebrate, yes, but there's also shame. Egg is coming on us gradually.
The Nigerian Defense Headquarters have ordered the immediate removal of non-essential roadblocks nationwide. We'll see what happens. Okay, we'll see what happens with that.
Nigeria, in order to preserve the British hegemony in Nigeria, power was licensed and given to the minority ethnic group known as the Fulani. The Fulani elite being the primary beneficiary of this evil license. This license of feudalism, which is at the root of Nigeria. For those of you who are ignorant and find it very easy to take offense quickly, let me explain this very quickly. Everywhere in the world, hegemonies propel countries. If the Fulani hegemony were to propel Nigeria to modernization and civilization, I'd be the first to applaud it. Hegemonies propel countries. The American state was propelled on the back of WASP hegemony, the West Anglo-Saxon Protestants. I've spoken to this in the past. The British hegemony was essentially propelled by the English, who recruited the others, the Welsh, the Celts, and others into that. The point is this: it is nothing new for an hegemony to propel the growth of a country or to influence it. But the hegemony that was unleashed on Nigeria was never for the benefit of Nigeria. It was always for the benefit of those who created Nigeria. Now, we've come to the point today where what you call banditry found its root in Zamfara State. Zamfara State is the epicenter of what you call banditry in Nigeria today. And the persons who are engaged in this banditry, what have they done to benefit the country? What have they done? Exactly what has been achieved? I'll tell you. Every member of the Nigerian ruling class today is a member of the feudal state. Whether you are in Imo State, whether you are in Lagos State, whether you are in Kaduna, in Benue, the lot of the Nigerian is not different. The virus of feudalism that had its root in the Fulani aristocracy has jumped host. Every last member of the Nigerian ruling class today is a feudal lord above the law, who acts constantly above the law. They have shown you multiple samples of this. And this is the country that we have built, where some people are constantly above the law. So what you call bandits are merely children of privilege. Fulani, in whose name power has been taken and monopolized in the country for long. And yet they see no benefit of it. So in a way, it is a reaction to the oppression of the ruling class, whether that be the Fulani ruling class or the Yoruba ruling class, but the ruling class that has become one. That is why you see in the coming political season, which has nearly been disrupted by Trump's diatribe, you'll find very quickly that there are no parties again. They are all flocking into the single party that answers their collective aspirations and questions. But these have consequences. There is no trust in the public systems. Nobody trusts the system to deliver justice to them. And because they don't, each person seeks justice in his own way. I was sat here, this same chair, this same desk, speaking with you last week. And I got a call. A friend that had been kidnapped was calling me because it's kidnappers, Fulani kidnappers, who kidnapped him in Ijebu Ode, and who collected ransom in a lorry, made him call me. In Nigeria. And this is found on the fact that the state built on lies that could lock up a man who is demanding that he be treated the same as every other person, who has been found guilty of incitement, should go to prison for life, but he is busy negotiating. This country finds he can negotiate with persons who are still bearing arms. So somebody told me this morning when I was asking what is banditry, he said it is terrorism without an agenda. That is exactly where we are. Terrorism without an agenda. But whether you like it or not, those terrorists who have no agenda, who are very, very, very ready at all points to devalue human life and to kill without remorse, have no agenda. They are different and distinct from the Islamist terrorists. When I was preparing for this sermon, part of my preparation took me to watch a documentary on Trust TV, and I listened to the terrorist bandit known as Torji. And the guy said, oh, they have nothing to do with Islamist terrorists. They don't kill, they know that Allah forbids all of that. I'm like, okay, so your own terrorism is different from Islamist terrorism. You just happen to share the same fate. And this must be clearly defined. It is a distinction that is lost when we don't pay attention. There is terrorism without agenda. That is the Fulani terrorism that limits itself to crimes against fellow Muslims. They don't discriminate. You just happen to have cattle, or you happen to be available to be kidnapped. And some of them are the ones that you have seen who have moved into the forests of southern Nigeria. Their own job is to just kidnap for ransom. They are not necessarily ISWAP and all of that. It's possible that some of them is about contract. Now, if you can, those ones don't really discriminate about who pays. But that is what Nigeria has tolerated. If you have a situation where you are closing your eyes to the realities of criminality because it suits your ethnic narrative or your ethno-religious prejudices and biases, what you are doing without realizing is that you are ultimately creating avenues for impunity to thrive. And that is what has happened. So you have people killing in the name of Allah. That's one branch of madness. Licensed by the Nigerian state, because that is the branch you find the likes of Pantami identified with, in the name of Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. They kill in his name. They justify the killings in his name. That's one branch. And then you have the other branch, where allegedly your minister of state is involved, named by no less than his own successor in office. No less than his own successor in office confirms and constantly says that he is a terrorist sponsor, because that is what banditry is, terrorism without an agenda. He's constantly fingered as being one of them. He was alleged to have bought 36 Hilux buses, Hilux trucks for terrorist leaders in Zamfara whilst he was the governor. He's on record defending their terrorism. He was said to be the one that will receive the stolen cattle that they will rustle. These are Dauda Lawal's allegations. The other day, Gary came out and said somebody was caught with multiple weapons, and yet this man is still in office as the Minister of State for Defense. This is the country that we have built on lies. We've built a country on lies. Because of the necessity to keep up these lies, we've built cult of personalities. First, it was the cult of Obasanjo, even though he was larger than life, and at least he could put some performance behind. And then you had the cult of Bubu. Buhari, complete dotard. And they say, oh, his body language made them do the right thing. Just because we want to keep up scaffolding lies. In order to keep scaffolding these lies, you've built a state of censorship where people cannot speak to the truth of what they see. What you do is you clamp them up once they're not singing from your party line. When they say something different from what you want to hear, you clamp them up. Just because you want to prevent the flow of truth. How? How do you maintain a country with a double standard where there's justice in one form for one and then in the next it's something completely different? Every day somebody or the other who does not sing the party line is getting clamped up somewhere. Anyone who is also not singing the party line will destroy their economics. What exactly do you think happens when you construct a country on a bedrock of lies? You put up a building with blocks of lies. The house constructed of spittle is bound to crumble with the morning dew. It's bound to crumble with the morning dew. But why am I talking? What is the purpose of my exertions? You know, I wrote a piece some years back. I titled it, "This House is Throwing Stone." Something along those lines. The house is throwing stone. And I want to use that to close as I bring my sermon, for want of a better word. As I bring it to a close, I want to take us to that part. It says,
Prince, I see your comments. There's no link tonight. I'm not doing any link tonight. Okay, maybe some other time. I'm just here to, there's some videos I want us to listen to, and then okay, maybe next time. All right.
Where this present government, the Tinubu-led administration and the APC government, will not have opportunity to score cheap political points for their next election or for the re-election. They don't care about it. Whatever situation it is, where they will not have opportunity to score cheap political points, they don't give a damn about it. They don't care about it. If it not give them opportunity to score points, to make them look good, to make them feel good, so that they can have points or things to talk about for their next election, for the re-election, they don't care about it. The reason we saw their action against the church kidnapped, the victims kidnapped in Orukwe, Kwara State, was simply because it will make them score cheap political points for next election. The reason we saw their action for the KB girls that were kidnapped and now they are rescued, which the kidnappers themselves said, we are the one that are letting you go, your government did not pay, we are the one letting you go, is still because of they want to score points for the election. The reason why we saw their action for the student kidnapped from the Catholic school in Niger State, which we thank God that they are back with their families now, is still for the election. If it's not going to give them points to score points for the election, they don't care about it. Let me tell you like that. You must understand that at this time, the government does not care about you Nigerians. They don't care about your prosperity. They don't care about your security. They don't care about your well-being. There is only one thing this present administration care about at this time, and it is re-election and re-election and re-election. And whatever it is that will not facilitate that cause for them, they don't give a damn about it. In the month of October, a priest Archie, and his family were kidnapped in Kaduna State. And they were there in the dens of the kidnappers. The news circulated. The government did nothing about it. Eventually, in the month of November, the priest was killed. I think even after paying some ransom, he was still killed. The government did nothing about it. A brigadier general was slaughtered like a chicken. A brigadier general was slaughtered like a chicken. The government did nothing about it because it did not make them score any cheap political point. They will not score any point with that. You must understand that you are serving in the military at this time. There is no honor for you presently because what you are earning a private, a lance corporal, a corporal, I think even a sergeant at this time, are still earning less than $100 in Nigeria. Less than $100. You must understand that you have no honor here on earth, and they will not honor you when you die. A brigadier general was killed, and the nation moved on from both from the military and the presidency, has done nothing happened. So you must understand, if you're serving the military, there is no honor for you while you're on earth. There will be no honor for you when you die. The only thing the government care about now at this time is re-election. Re-election and re-election. Look at the picture on this screen. This is a picture of the wife of the priest that was kidnapped along with the daughter. The priest was kidnapped with the wife and the priest and the daughter. The priest has been killed. The daughter and the wife, look at them sitting on the ground there. Imagine this is your mother and your sister. Imagine this is your wife and your daughter. Imagine these are your family members. The government have done nothing in any way. There are thousands of Nigerians that are presently in the dens of kidnappers. The government is not doing anything about it. Why? Because it's not making them score any cheap political points. But they were able to launch a precision airstrike on Benin, on the coup plotter in Benin. They were able to launch precision airstrike on them. Just yesterday, the president made a request to deploy soldiers to Benin. In less than 1 hour, the Stook, the Akpabio-led Senate, the Stooks there, the APC ass-licking Stooks, the APC ass-licking Stooks in the Senate, the shambolic senators, in less than 1 hour, they approved it to deploy soldiers to Benin Republic. But look at this woman and her daughter. Nothing has been done. It is not even in the mind of these people at all. What they care about this time is defection to defect to APC. Everybody is defecting for APC because they know that is the only party where they can gain, they can have the opportunity to conduct election malpractice for their next election. It's all about the election. To them at this time, it's all about the election. Nigerians must wise up. We must call the government to act on this issue as soon as possible. This is not acceptable. This is a priest. He was a man of God. The reason I'm speaking about it is because he was a man of God that served God, served the church. Served God, served the church. His family does not deserve this in any way. His family does not deserve this in any way. You're a pastor, you're a man of God. Imagine this is your family. That even after you are gone, they killed you. Look at what your family is still going through. Look at them there. Look at the wife, look at the daughter. You must begin to ask yourself, what exactly is the cost of the life of Nigerians in Nigeria? Do we matter at all to the people, to this government? Do we matter at all to these politicians? Is it just about re-election and re-election and re-election? Does it bother them? Look at this family for God's sake, 6 October. Since the month of October. But swiftly, he acted to please the French government to deploy soldiers, to launch precision airstrike. Quickly, within 48 hours, all this is happening to intervene in Benin. But your house is burning. Are you not supposed to remove the log in your own eyes first before trying to remove the stick in another person's eyes? Does it make sense at all? Nigerians must remain focused. We must demand that the military, the government had to release this man. He was...
For this question, you know, this security program was actually created, and it was created by those in authority. And if they want to stop it today, they will stop it because they are the ones engineering it. How comes we bush people who have been known to be cattle rearers, how comes they have guns? Where do they come? These guns come from? How comes those people they call bandits? They have armored vehicles, including tankers in the bush, and they call them terrorists or enemies. How come they have it? If it is Maiduguri, where did these tankers pass? Is this they came from the earth or they came through? Where did they get the tankers? You have to ever know, every same person know that the authorities are behind this insecurity. If they want to stop it today, they can stop it. All right? Now, by inviting those who are perpetrators of this, they will make it more aggressive. They are inviting the U.S., which is very clearly behind all these so-called terrorist organizations. It is behind. The U.S. created Boko Haram. The U.S. is funding Boko Haram. U.S. creates what they call ISWA. They created ISIS. They created Daesh. They confess it openly. All right? I don't need to give you proof because they have said it themselves. They are behind it. They said that they will use terrorism to conquer Africa. Now you invite them to be a remedy for what they have been the cause. What do you expect? Mass killing of more innocent people. All right? and they will come not for security but to steal our resources. You see them in where there is gold, oil, gas, and other resources. You will see them there. That's where the security problems. And that's where they will protect Christians. They will protect Christians in Zamfara and Katsina, where there is gold. You see them there protecting Christians. They will protect Christians in extreme northeast, where there are rare earths. You know, they come for that, and they will create havoc. So if the government wants this insecurity to stop today, they will stop it, because they are the ones doing it. No fool nobody can, unless you want to be a fool. You have to understand that the Nigerian government is behind all this insecurity, previous and present.
You guys heard it too from him. Say that the Nigerian government they in charge. All right. So let's not pretend like we don't know what's going on.
To take a before you call on the South to unite for Tinubu, I want you to take a sober reflection. In 2015, Jonathan was a president from the South, and the Southerners were used against him to remove him. And guess who was at the forefront? The beneficiary, the president today. And few other Southerners like Amechi gang up together to remove Jonathan. Before you now conclude that we should unite for Tinubu, is this person now performing more than what Jonathan was doing then? Is he doing better than Jonathan? What goes around comes around. And I remember Fayemi said in one of the videos that all they played was just politics. That means they know, according to him, Jonathan was on the right path, but they needed to play that politics just to remove him. Everyone calling for Southerners to unite for Tinubu doesn't really mean well for this country. They are doing it for their personal benefits. Jonathan did far better than what Tinubu is doing today. And you are calling on all of us to unite for Tinubu.
Una here oh. Meanwhile, Kemi Badenoch don't call their government to push back on Islamism. All right, you guys, you don't have to like. I like her. I don't care about what people think of her. I like her. I like her stance. Congratulations to her for what she has achieved so far. Okay.
I do not want to see Islamism.
Walele, welcome. Oh, thank you.
And
I
it
appreciate
is everywhere. Earlier this month, we had the 20th
Enjoy your day.
of the 7/7 bombings. That when you ignore Islamism, this political Islam that is militant, that is trying to spread all around the world, it incubates in lots of different places. And you might think, oh, well, let's just have some peace and quiet and ignore it. 10, 15, and it'll be our children having to deal with it.
Thank
so we
you.
need to be
I will.
very firm about making sure that we push back Islamism. Not all cultures are equal. Some people may not like to hear that, but cultures where there's child marriage, cultures where women are lesser citizens, those aren't equal cultures. We are allowing our tolerance to be exploited. Many people who come to our country, to the UK, who do things that would not be acceptable in their countries. I do not
I totally understand. Meanwhile, since Tinubu has said they should withdraw security from them, here is a senator vibrating. I woke up today and was told by my police orderly that my police orderly has been withdrawn. I have no problem with that, but I want them to also withdraw the presidents, the vice presidents, the ministers, and other police escorts, everyone. This is Senator Ningi. They crash out seriously. Let's listen.
I cannot ever.
Hold on, no. Because I don't want to spend too much time for this.
Imagine that a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who has been here for a very long time, and only one orderly, and he is withdrawn. I saw 2 convoys of ministers. And
they cannot look.
They were carrying
Let me pause this. Let me pause this. Guy Walele, you see ADC. I don't give a damn about ADC. I have said it. They should shut the window, close the door. PO should not bother. That party it was orchestrated for Atiku. It is obvious. They want PO to come and join to give them the wave, to give them the popularity that we are giving PO. Do you understand? That's what they want. How dare you? You are trying to make the best to be second. No freaking way. Especially that Atiku is a Fulani man. Lie. Never. Instead of Atiku to enter, let Tinubu continue. Me, I will support Tinubu 2027. We're already in hell. What's the point? Nigerians are already suffering. Let's just know that, okay, another 4 years, brace for another 4 years of another suffering. Whoever survives, survive. Instead of Atiku to enter, from worse to worse, from the one that will take you beyond hell. Now I want to make you lie. ADC should go and shove it up where the sun don't shine. We don't care. In matter of fact, let Peter Obi come out as a single candidate on an unknown party. I'd rather that. They craze.
I have also seen business concern, Chinese and other.
Now, every time next Saturday they make wave for not waiting. Is Atiku supposed to be ready in his head at this time? He should go and wait for 2031. If it was them, would they like it if Southerner comes out? I beg. 2031, make Southerner ready, they go follow come out to contest for presidency. We will see. Since everybody want mad now, if we not divide the country before then, because left to me right now, let the North go. I beg.
By security establishment, but complementary of security.
Thank you very much, guy. Enjoy your day.
Whenever a matter of improvement arises, it shall be taken off immediately. And in case where adequate provision is not met in the standing orders,
why is volume low? They not give a microphone.
Mr. President, I've been around this National Assembly since 1999.
Look at him. Look at them making noise.
Right from 1999, I was having a police orderly, one police orderly, and I have never requested for any additional security personnel. And I woke up today, and I was told my police orderly and other police orderlies are withdrawn. Mr. President, I have no problem with that. My problem is that this thing should go across the board. It should not be, don't worry, it should be done across the board. Let's see what happens from the office of the president, to the vice president, to the senate president, to the speaker of the house, to the ministers. Mr. President, I'm coming after they have withdrawn my body orderly. I saw 2 convoys of ministers, and they were carrying lots of security personnel. I have also seen business concern, Chinese and other business concern. Yesterday, with the compliments of orderlies. Mr. President, I have also seen daughters and sons of political office holders having orderlies and having security powers. Mr. President, I have seen singers having orderlies and complementary of protection.
Look at them vibrating. They don't want to be pied like the citizens are being pied. In their states, the citizens they don't have any standard. There's no life for the citizens. Meanwhile, they have money to be using to go for Hajj. Look at him vibrating. So he loves his life. When you don't take care of the citizens, so you love your life. No, let them withdraw the security. Wole came out and said they should that Tinubu should withdraw the security from his son. Only one pikin get how many people when they follow him. Now which one I don't turn Nigeria to now. Let's see how effective this becomes.
Family. Dr. Yes, with due respect, I want to challenge you. They not born anybody to remove the police protection of it.
Right.
Not even the IGP. Okay. They don't born away. The Inspector General of Police. They don't born away. Respect the office of the IGP. They're not born away. No.
Maybe the president will.
You will see.
Well, Omoye,
Omoye raised the point around the man that was detained and alluded to the fact that the president's son is almost more powerful than the IG of police and because of the fact that he gave the directive. So we need to curtail those excesses.
You are quoting Showore.
No, I'm saying that example.
You are now quoting your position on this table.
No, I'm supporting
your position.
I'm not there. It's Dr. Abatio. He doesn't know your word too. Okolomo, Gomino Lola.
All right.
I'm not there.
Very important personnel. Well, all right. Now to politics.
Tinubu didn't have to send the Air Force and the military to deal with this particular insurrection, this threat to our own sense of security and equilibrium. No, there are easier ways of doing it. Let me tell you where Tinubu should have looked for forces to quell that insurrection. Right here in Lagos. Right here. Or in Abuja, perhaps. I don't know. But there was no need to call the military or the Air Force. I'll tell you what happened. On one of my home visits, this about 2 months ago, I was coming out of a hotel and I saw what looked like a film set. And I said, oh, they're shooting a film. That was on the grounds of this hotel. And a young man detached himself from the actors, came over and greeted me, very polite, very nice young man. And I said, are you shooting somebody? I said, I'm just joking. Are you shooting a film? He said, no. And I looked around. There was nearly a whole battalion occupying that the grounds of that hotel, in Ikoyi, right here. So I got back in my car and I asked the driver who that young man was. And he told me. And I saw this SWAT team, a mixture. They were at least heavily armed, at least some 15 or so heavily armed to the teeth security personnel. Looked sufficient to take over a small country, neighboring city like Benin. And I think the next time the president should just call and say, Sheyi, go and quell the rebellion over there. I was so astonished that I started looking for the National Security Advisor. I said, track him down for me. I think they got him somewhere in Paris, but I was with the president. He was at a meeting. And I said, I've just seen something I can't believe, I don't understand. And I described the scene to him. I said, do you mean that the child of the head of state goes around with an army for his protection or whatever? I couldn't believe it. Later on, I did some investigative journalism. And I inquired, and I found that apparently this is how this young man goes around with his battalion, his heavy armed soldiers. Of course, the road was cleared before his car went out. I stayed until it seemed he was leaving. So next time there's an insurrection, I think the president should just call that young man and say, no, put down those stupid people there. You have enough troops under your command, so don't bother me with all these security issues any longer. Let's not overdo things. This is not the first country that has a head of state. It's not the first country whose head of state has families. And I think children should know their place. They are not potentates. They are not heads of state. And the security architecture of a nation like this suffers some injury and alienation when we see such a heavy devotion of security to one young individual. You'll excuse me, but I'm in and out most of the time. And this place is named after me. It's my center. So if I go off the immediate subject of our ward, I will excuse me for taking possession of my own center.
I'm going to show you guys. This is where Tinubu was saying he has ordered the withdrawal of police escorts for ministers. We're not going to bother listening to this. All right. Let me see. And then this man is saying, Dr. Kunle Fagbemi says, God's will, Akpabio needs to stop playing to the gallery. He has a service to Nigeria. Story for the gods. These people don't give a damn. Let's listen to Barrister Darlington, please.
How, the arrogance of the North over this insecurity is annoying me, seriously. How do you blame the whole country for the problem you created? Where is this thing coming from? This insecurity. Who are the bandits, the terrorists? Where are they mostly from? Is it not from the North? Instead of the North to find a way to stop a problem they created, they are trying to use it to blackmail all of us. It's very sad, seriously. I don't see why the North should be making noise over this issue. The very problem they created. We were here when their leaders came out and told us how they brought these people into Nigeria. And the North didn't deem it fit to say, we are sorry for what we have done. We are sorry for bringing this problem to Nigeria. Rather, they will keep blackmailing you and I as if we are the cause of the problem. And we did not find it fit to even give it back to them. The type of politics we play in the South, I don't like it seriously. Because if this thing we are coming from the South here, I know what the North would have done. I know what they would have done. Ordinary alcohol that Obi went to import. They said because he imported alcohol, that the Muslim North will not vote for him because they don't drink alcohol. Can you just imagine? But you that brought terrorism into Nigeria, and we have been suffering of this for 15 years now. You are not ashamed for what you have done. You are not even apologizing to us. Every time you be making noise, if you don't solve insecurity. Who created insecurity? When Jonathan wanted to stop it, it was this same you Northerners that was writing letter, writing everything. You want to kill the North. You want to do this. You were writing memo to international community. Why is it that the North always use this security to blackmail all of us? And nobody can give it back to them from the South here. Who brought this problem into Nigeria? Is it not the North? Is it not the North, for God's sake? Why are we not calling a spade here?
Okay.
Let them stop that thing, please. It annoys me. Let them stop it. Let them face their leaders over there. Let them face their leaders and stop insulting our intelligence. Why should they be talking like that?
May the North go practice their Sharia and Hisbah in peace. That one I will continue to say. There's no need for us to pretend anymore. Meanwhile, look at Tinubu's escorts, 300 escort cars. People counted it too. If they do the work, the sun no need 300 vehicles. If they do their work, the sun no need 300 vehicles. This is to show you that the car not clean. So therefore, anything when they do in hiding. Everything is secret. That's why. Meanwhile, I'm just going to read this and I'm going to wrap this up. Now, it has come to, this is from Equipping the Persecuted, to their knowledge that the Fulanis are planning another Christmas attack against Christians. They plan on targeting Plateau State, particularly the communities of Riom, Bakinladi, and Bokos. They are also planning on attacking Kaduna in the Kafanchan area. They are planning on attacking Benue in the specific region of Agatu.
There's something that, hey guys, it's me, Judd Saul with equippingthepersecuted.org. Just wanted to do a quick video to share what's on my mind regarding Nigeria at the moment. It's been, news has come out that 100 of the 300 kids that have been kidnapped from a Catholic school have been released. And we're seeing a lot of people coming out and praising God that 100 kids have been released. And yes, we should be thankful and very happy that 100 children have been released. However, there's something that, amidst the celebration that people are talking about, is that there's still nearly 200 people that are still captive. There's 200 kids that are still captive. And no one's asking the question, how did these 100 kids get released? None of the kidnappers have been brought to justice. There's no dead kidnappers. Usually in the situation, what happens is somebody in the Nigerian government paid the kidnappers to get the kids back. They pay a ransom to get the children back, allowing the kidnappers to hold on to the remaining 200 kids that have been kidnapped and live on to kidnap and kill another day. I'm very grateful for the release of these 100 kids, but the only reason that I believe that this release happened is because there's currently a congressional delegation from the United States to Nigeria right now, and the Nigerian government wants to have some good news or show some goodwill since there's a U.S. congressional delegation in Nigeria, which is really messed up. Why not just go to the kidnappers? Because the Nigerian government knows where these kids are. They know who the kidnappers are. But no real justice is being done. And these kidnappers will live on to kidnap another day, and Lord knows what's happening to the remaining 200. They definitely need your prayers, but there needs to be more action. There needs to be more tangible, actual action being done by the Nigerian government, and I would hope the U.S. government. Now, I want to bring up another disturbing news and information that I've received is, despite the congressional delegation and despite President Trump speaking out against the persecution of Christians in Nigeria, it has come to my knowledge that the Fulani are planning another Christmas attack against Christians. They're planning on slaughtering Christians over Christmas. And to be specific, they plan on targeting Plateau State, particularly the communities of Riom, Barkin and Bokos. And they're also planning on attacking Kaduna in the Kafachan area. And we can't leave out that they are also planning another attack in Benue, in the specific region of Agatu. Sources tell me that Fulani militia are mobilizing on the Benue-Nasarawa border. The Fulani militia are mobilizing on the Plateau-Nasarawa border, and the Fulani are also mobilizing on the Kaduna-Nasarawa border. They're building up. More mercenaries are coming in from the north, Fulani mercenaries, mind you. More Fulani mercenaries are coming in from the north. And this message goes out to President Trump and the Republicans, the senators, and the congressmen. If something isn't done soon, there's going to be a lot of dead Christian bodies on Christmas. TruthNigeria.com, which is a site that I helped found, has issued over 100 terror alerts since 2023 with 90% accuracy. And in every one of these terror alerts, the Nigerian government's been notified, local police, military have been notified, and not once has the Nigerian military or police interceded on behalf of the Christians being attacked. In fact, we've had many cases where the military and local police actually were complicit in these attacks. And the question you have to ask yourself is, who gives the orders to stand down when Christians are being killed? Who's giving those orders? We've been told time and time again that the Nigerian military and police force, in order for them to engage in an attack, they must get orders from the top. Otherwise, they cannot take action. And many times the police and military are ordered to stand down. So here we are once again. I'm going live. I'm giving an advance warning. In Plateau, in Benue, and Kaduna, the Fulani ethnic militia have plans to kill Christians on Christmas. My question is, United States government, what are you going to do about it? My question is to the Nigerian government, what are you going to do about it? You have knowledge right now that this is going to happen. And the thing is to the Nigerian government, you already know this is going to happen. You already know this. I mean, how do you guys not intercede or intervene when 300 kids are being kidnapped
long
from a
time,
school?
sis.
Where's the police and military?
Good
How in
to
the world
see
you
you.
kidnap 300 people
Thank
in one
you.
setting without any intervention? How do you sit idly by in a town like Yellowada where 280 Christians were burned alive, slaughtered, and macheted to death for over 4 hours, while you're in between in a 25-minute drive from two major cities with no police or military intervention as Christians get slaughtered for over 4 hours? It's not a lack of resources. It's a lack of willpower. Major lack of willpower. And for whatever reason, I don't understand. But you guys have been warned. Please prove me wrong. Let's not see any dead Christian bodies over Christmas. And do something about this. For the love of God.
Nigeria government, prove him wrong. Oh, prove him wrong. He has given out information on time. Prove the man wrong. Prove say through wetin this man know. Show up. He don't already give that. They don't already receive alert now, so they want attack. He named the communities when they go attack. So Nigerian government, prove them wrong. When you have terrorists, they even have their own videographer videoing how they are buying your soldier. Hey, Nigeria. Shame catch me. Now Nigeria this. Prove him wrong, go Nigerian government. Hey, cheap power, welcome, oh. Hey, God abeg. AB, I dey see your comments. Michael say Shika na failure. The man died a long time ago. Na kaka. Oh my God. Nothing to say after that. That's a mic drop moment right there. Exactly. They want to establish their own terror wood. Exactly. They just they do as they like. I never see anything like this before. And then AB, you said which will be the comment when I see just now. You say a man with the son, everything you talk. Son of the president of the biggest black nation on earth, make Baba go sleep. So AB, you believe in this level of wastage? Son of the biggest black man, the poorest nation as we stand now, the most terrorist infested nation. So he has a right to have 300 people while the rest of the people are being kidnapped every day. You are part of the hero worshipper now. So what are you talking about? You just talk, you just answer Michael just now. You say they like hero. Now you speak for yourself. Say you love hero worshiping because you are part of the problem. For you to feel like it's okay for the son of which biggest black nation? Who they deceive una say na be the biggest black nation? Because they never do census. You know how many they don't buy for Nigeria? Are you sure you are still the biggest black nation? I don't know. I'm confused though. I don't know which side of your mouth you take the talk now, AB. I don't know. Does he not have a different president? What does that mean exactly? What does that mean exactly? What does that mean exactly? Me too, Michael. I don't understand it. They go announce your community, say that they come, and you still dey that community. You not ready? May I know say I do wetin I need to do. Anything won't happen after that one go happen. I'm telling you, and they not go even see me do anything to. I don't know. This class of Nigerians when we get food, I talk I say it's in the food, it's in the air. They don't do something tonight. There's no way. Nigerians are not usually these sitting ducks. I never see cheat power. I never, me and you. Hey God, Nigeria they shock me every day. Things when they come out of there, they shock me. My ear they pepper me. AB, no bole second. No bole second black nation. No bole second. You they confuse me sometimes. I honestly, I don't know. Are you for APC? AB. Are you supporting APC? Because I don't understand. Because I don't know. Sometimes you can't drop some comments. They confuse me. If you are supporting APC, there's no shame. Hey, let's know. You understand that okay, it's APC you are supporting. Because you confuse me sometimes. I'm not sure. Are you ashamed to admit? You don't have to be ashamed. There are people who they believe in him strongly and believe in his governance. Even though he's taking us to the deepest part of hell, there are people who still believe in him. I'm not going to hold it against you. I'm just going to remind you that, so this is the man you are supporting? Okay. AB, when you take it easy, people they suffer for Nigeria. No understand. People are suffering. I don't know if you have direct families that are being impacted. I don't pray that you have family. I don't pray that any one of us here have family. But the people that is happening to, none of us are better than them. I think especially now is a time for us to be more sensitive about these issues, to be honest with you. Because as we sit now, okay, look at that pastor now. His wife and his daughter is still with these kidnappers. And the government, your government knows where these kidnappers are. They know exactly where these people are. They claim they released 100 children. Where are the children? Where are the terrorists? What did they do to the terrorists that took them? That means we still have over 100 still with the terrorists. And your government knows. Please, I beg. I beg. If you don't get empathy, you're not sensitive to these issues, be very careful how you express your thoughts on this subject. Karma, they exist, oh. Karma is not just a word. Very careful, man. They happen to you, not mean say no. People are affected greatly. There was somebody I met recently. His own sister is in an IDP camp in Benue. You don't understand. His own direct sister is in an IDP camp. Oh my goodness. Abeg, who no go no more we dey careful. Abeg, na beg I dey beg. Not be everything, not be they catch cruise. Oh, abeg, may God not let us see bad thing. But the way Nigeria they go, this president is taking people beyond hell. All right, while they are busy doing whatever they are doing now, this represent Riley Moore can't do investigation, don't go back. People are still crying. Some of the northerners are crying. Oh no, why did he not go here? Why did he not go here? See me see trouble. Christians are crying that they are being pied. Well, as Muslims, shouldn't you be documenting too that, oh, this is what Christians have been documenting? Apparently, I found out today, since 2018 they've been documenting it. For something that started longer than that too, they've been documenting precisely, especially from the Middle Belt, since 2018. How do you match that? Now that they've gotten the attention of the world, you want to stifle, you want to gaslight. It no go work now. It cannot work. Let's stop pretending we are not one country. As far as Sharia is still part of your laws, and you have blasphemy laws active, and you still have Sunday Jackson locked up for defending himself from somebody that wants to buy him, hello, you are not one country. Okay? I hear when they speak, they want to gaslight. Let's come together. Come together with who? The terrorists and the sympathizers? Let the North go so they can practice their Sharia and Hizbah in peace. If you love it so much and you want to be a part of it from the South, you pack your load and go and join them. It's very easy. Because they are saying, oh, we want to be one Sharia, we love it so much. Have it, but you cannot impose your Sharia laws on other people. You can't. Please, there's no shame in this. As a country, we have to come to terms with this. There are certain values that we cannot coexist with. I'm sorry. We can't. I personally cannot. I have a neighbor when if I don't know whether I go for night, can't press my neck or can't use pillow suffocate me. I not go fit. Me and you, we grew up because of one religion. You carry this thing, you come out person head. Hey, no. Let's not kid ourselves now. This not lives we they talk about. No be cockroaches. That's where me I stand though. Me I not put water for mouth talk am. Let Nigeria divide. South on one side, north. Let them, if they love this their Sharia so much, and they find way to sneak them into so that everybody else go there under the same Sharia. May they did their own. I beg. Okay, the South can be on their own and say, okay, if the South they want to see divide, no problem. People don't want to do journalism. Let everybody go and answer their father's name. It will save lives. Please, I beg, let's not pretend. Me, I'm not pretending about the reality in Nigeria right now. Because nobody cares. People are dying every day. What are we doing? It's an official jungle. Your military just and people when they protest peacefully. Women when they protest peacefully, they just open fire, kill 10. Why not be bushmeat? Hey, God, I beg. Oh. God forbid. Let everybody may not go their corner. Please. I beg. I beg. Oh. We will go our own. I not fit shout. It's too much. It's too much, oh. And let it be discouraging. What have the frontline actors done? What have they done since? For the last 20 years, last details, what have the frontliners, what have they done? Please tell me. You, the sponsors of this terrorism and your government, what have they done? I will wait. Please tell me. Tell me in the comment section what your frontliners have done since. By the way, your frontliners are being killed like chickens in the field. Did you see the video that came out where the terrorists themselves were videoing as they were buying your frontliners? What are you talking about? What frontliners? Meanwhile, your government, people have come out time and time. I just played a video now where the man said the government know the people. All they need to do is one phone call and they will stop this nonsense. They are not stopping it. Are those the people you want us to say we are discouraging? I bet shift go one side though. Last detail. Maybe your family is not affected. I beg, AB, not ask me question, please. It's not out of the wood. Last detail. I don't know which side of the, I don't know whether not today you wake up. It is not out of the woods. It is gotten worse times 100. Okay? Past government was even better. Buhari government, when he starts this whole nonsense, was better than this one. This one has taken you beyond hell. He's even about to start a war with your neighbors, Benin. So please rest, okay? Or good morning. Maybe you just wake up. Maintain man work. Oh, you know AB. Na propaganda group dey. AB, they don't expose you today. AB, so you be propaganda. So now propaganda group. Na me dey talk to since. Okay, maintain man. Thank you for the expose. AB, they confuse me. Sometimes you just come drop a come. You'll be wondering, wait a minute, from where to where? Is this guy, does this guy know what's going on in Nigeria? Is his family affected? You know, maybe he doesn't have family in Nigeria. Does he have relatives? Does he understand what's going on? That people cannot travel on the road anymore? Does he understand? Thank you, maintain man. I don't know. Oh, AB, so you be propaganda group. Woo. If we are one, why do they keep saying one Nigeria? Exactly. If we are one, chill power. Shebi, with all those people that are buying people, they will go and meet them. They'll say, no, we have to stop, resist them. Come together, form a group to resist them. Nothing. Atiku, when one run as president, when he be Fulani man, he never fit go tell Fulani people, say, no. This is a country that has given me so much. We can't allow this. He never talk. I don't see Atiku going from place to place, going all over the country to talk to people. I don't see him doing any of that. Thunder fire anybody when they push Atiku. I'm serious. Everybody when they follow Atiku, they are all there for their own selfish gains. You know, go work for them. Everybody I don't open now. They don't disgrace themselves. You can't have two constitutions in a country. And then they want to sneak it on everybody while nobody is looking. And you can't force other people to do Sharia. Bam. Yes, Nigeria should divide. Absolutely. That's where I stand. The North should go their way because they love their Sharia. And me now, as someone that respects people's rights to do whatever they want to do, okay, your Sharia does not agree with my own way of life. How do we live if we are not in agreement? How do we come together if we are not in agreement? Day your day, practice your Sharia in full and your Hizbah so that you can be destroying alcohol. Please don't bring it to me. I know they forbid all those things. I know they forbid alcohol. If I want to drink alcohol, I want to drink alcohol. I don't believe in blasphemy. I don't believe in marrying 9-year-old, 2-year-old, 12-year. I don't believe them. So day your day. You cannot impose it on everybody. If it's convenient, they'll say, oh, we are one Nigeria. We are not. We have to tell each other the truth now. We are not. The North has to go on their own. Since they are insisting on Sharia, and I agree with them. I agree they have every right to practice their Sharia. I agree, but they should go and practice their Sharia in peace. Simple. I not want, no, please let nobody come and deceive anybody. Say after the major Southern Kaduna massacre during El Rufai's governorship, every Southerner separated from the Hausa and Fulani because they not even want. Yes, they could not trust their Hausas. Where did Southern Kaduna and where South Kaduna come from? Not be one big state before. Abeg, let's go our way. Abeg, I no fit. Imagine if you can't do one. Then your children's children, they don't know wetin happen. Before they happen, they go sneak am in again because these people don't give up. Oh, they have an agenda that spans centuries. They do not give up. If history has not taught you a lesson, this current moment should be teaching it to you. Do you want to leave your children to be stranded in the hands of these people? Look at what's happening in Kwara and Kogi State. Look at what they have turned that place into. I'm not even talking about the Middle Belt. Massacred people. I mean, come on. No, I beg. I'm sorry. I did say that, AB, you're on your own with that comment that you just made. Clearly, you are choosing, your ear is selecting what you want to hear. I did not say anything about, the South. I clearly said the South should separate from the North and let the North be on their own. The South can choose regionalism, or if they don't want to, everybody can go their way. After all, the Yorubas want to go on their own. The Southeast wants to go on their own. Nothing stops that from happening. So what are you talking about? Don't be selective with your ears. Now I'm beginning to see right through you, AB. Don't bring that propaganda here. Oh, I go fling you out. Oh. I don't read your comment now, AB. You need to behave yourself, oh, because I don't see right through. So you be propaganda group. Now I know. I don't know. No wonder your comment they confuse me. Atiku supports Sharia. That's why, of course, during Deborah's time when they roasted a human being alive, Atiku could not. He withdraw the comment. Like if not lay down one, that man can never ever be president. Never. That course go follow that man. Ha. Last details, you take your time, go and dig all the details of all the massacres of Christians. All right, because clearly you are struggling with factors that are not your reality anymore. Okay, you are living in 2015. We are in 2025. That's 10 freaking years. You are living a decade in the past. All right, go dig up information, bring out data of the number of Christians in the Middle Belt that have been massacred, and the ones in the South, in Kwara and Kogi, that have been massacred, and the pregnant women that they massacre, rip their babies out from their bellies and butcher them. Bring out those details for me. All right, last details. Clearly, now your name even fit you well. Last decade details. Now you be. Please go and up your game on your details. Don't come here and be trying to gaslight anybody. If he dey Sharia, if he dey Ibadan, not be una extreme imams wanna give power for Ibadan. Not be that they bring the Sharia come. Abeg rest. Very contrarian blood though. I'm not seeing it because he's confusing me with his comment. He's even trying to be nice. Can you imagine? He's trying to act like he's trying to get. This is how they sound. They'll be sounding like very nice people, like like rats for night when you go they eat leg. You go they blow air, they chop your leg for night. Now so it become bito. Now that's how he's exposing himself right now. Pop up like a weasel. Kaduna has Christians as indigenous people. American senators for go there. Yep, but I mean, not be we give them money to take go. Now they're by themselves on their own dime. So are we going to dictate to them where they're going to go? Welcome, Kenny. Which mind do they talk? Clearly, clearly na mind of gaslighting you bring come here. Nobole talk shiri. Now gaslighting na you bring come. You even know what you dey talk so? Abeg. Nobole cover my head. Abeg. When Deborah went, he not talk anything, he withdraw the statement after. Now that one I want to come out as president. He say make be president, make Tinubu remain for there. Or more. We kukuma, we are in the hellfire. We are in hell already. Make we kukuma know say we tighten our bet. Whoever survived the 2031, we know. I'm telling you, oh, instead of Atiku to come in, because Atiku level of greed is times 100 of Tinubu's own. We are complaining that Tinubu is like this, his family is like that, is this one that. Atiku won't go worse past Tinubu own. So instead of Atiku to enter, me, I go come out, campaign for Tinubu to stay for 2027. Walai. Ha! Instead, maybe Peter Obi come out on your own party. I go support him. He lose, he fail. I know say now better man I support. But you see that article, never. Make they blow air up in ass. Make it they enjoy him. Oh my God. He doesn't have the numbers. Who does he know? How many IDP camps has Atiku visited? How many? How many IDP camps has he visited? How many IDP people has he removed and changed their lives or returned them back to their communities? How has he involved himself to make sure that he tries to deal with the terrorists with his own sources? To deal with it so that those people can return to their indigenous homes. Why hasn't he done that? How many people's lives Atiku don't impact? How many places he don't visit for the whole Nigeria? Have you ever heard him speak? What are his intentions? What does he want? Atiku is wasting his time. He's going to waste his money again. Because people, when they want chopping money, now them plenty pass. With this whole Fulani rampage, Atiku go nowhere. I beg you. This is very annoying. Very greedy ass people. Want to have power by all means with nothing to show for it. No improvement in the lives of the people. Nothing. No impact. Zero. Now to thief money, thief resources, carry and go put them for outside country. Oh, they are coming to take over our minerals, but you are collecting money from them. They are giving you aid money and you are collecting. I never see anything. Make the country divide already. I bet everybody know where it is. Everybody answer their papa name. Make it divide. Or may not go their own. With their Sharia, they should go. If they want to finish each other with Sharia and Hizbah, at least we know that's where they are. Nobody is going to accept that crap. If Yoruba people want to follow them, the ones who want to be Muslim want to follow, may they follow them. It's okay. I beg. It's too much. I beg. My people, I go leave am for here. I don't want to. This matter just they annoy me sometimes when I think about am. For me, Atiku is a waste of time. Absolute waste of time. He's just a spoiler. They just use him. If you ask me, that man is supporting Tinubu. Low key. He's supporting Tinubu. I'm telling you, low key, he's a spoiler. He will always rear his head. If he means well for Nigeria, he should step his ass down and support Peter Obi. Otherwise, he should forget it. Nobody's voting for him. All this claim, oh, they have the North vote of the North. May we divide them. May not go. Okay, may go rule only the North. It's simple. Middle belt, no kukuma, they don't remove themselves. They have removed themselves. So which numbers they want to lie? Now say they get. Everything is exposed. We all see everything now in the open. I won't close. Oh, I beg. I don't tire. The long day. I don't even be one come out today, say, but because I get those videos, I say make I come just quickly share them. But you know, gotta continue to talk. Oh, and election don't they come? Oh, I know. Say me, I never really put body like that. I want to see which direction Peter Obi they go first. I they observe. So I'm reserving all my energy for that. You understand? But we'll continue to talk about the Christian genocide in Nigeria. We cannot stop talking about it. We will continue to talk about it. I'm very happy that Representative Riley Moore was able to visit by himself on his dime, on their dime, on taxpayers' dime, when Nigeria are not paid for. How many of your senators and ministers and reps have gone to the IDP camps? How many of them have been to Yewata to go and visit where the disaster happened? You people be voting barbarians, claim that you have representatives. Greedy people. Chop for back, chop for front. No mind them. Na so very double-mouthed people. Do you understand? It's bullshit, man. It's very annoying. You people will collect money. I remember when that flooding that took place, is it Adamawa, which Sokoto, where rain, dam break. Every year, like that dam, they break. NGOs from America send them money. How much do they send them every year? When not they reach the citizens' hand? How much? They go swallow the money like bottomless pit. Now, when they come, when they say, okay, every time they're giving us money for security, to improve security, not only do anything, you people are shouting sovereignty, but you people enter Benin Republic to go and stop a coup that was ready to deliver the people. Una think say those people don't forgive una. Every day there they wait. This man is just packing trouble. We are waiting trouble. They wait for us for front. Now, una no say na sovereign country. Wanna send una soldiers go Benin. Wanna wait now. Not be here with day. Beg. Can say I go verse? How I go take verse by Sadality see they support Atiku? Now by Sadality won't be that now. Because that's the only point I disagree with him on. Now barrister Badality won't be that now. So all these ancient older Nigerians, now so that they think. Their way of thinking is very different. I beg, I'm sorry. But the barrister Badality now they that one me and they disagree on. All that Atiku to make throw away for window. No send though, I beg. Let's do all night care. You people want to wear me out. Eh? Oh my God. I beg. We have to be ready. Oh. No room for Atiku. No room for Atiku. No chance. Can't you Southerners stand for one thing for once? Can't you people decide that no, enough is enough? Every time the South is the time of the South, you see the North rearing their head. They want to come as if they're entitled to it, and you people will just fold your hand and allow it. Only one person feel they mad all the time. People now go just shift for them. They give now jazz that they use for now. If they use jazz for now, catch you now be that oh. Jazz no fit catch me. No for Atiku, hell to the no. Anywhere that conversation is high, find it. I will stamp it to the ground. Nothing for Atiku. Atiku should go and play with his grandchildren. I beg. He should sit it out. 80-something-year-old man. Wetin wan come give you? Now greed they carry that man come. Una forget saying children. How many of your children? All those children they are waiting for their fathers to come and. I played a video for you people. Former governor of Akwa Ibom, Bako. I played Pikin video for now. Yesterday, I better not play. Where the man, you not hear waiting the guy talk. Now better get sense for that South. Instead of you, when is the turn of the North, they don't back down. They support their own. During Buhari's time, with all the madness that was going on, Buhari was literally dragging us to the ground. None of them did pim. None of them. All the people you see talking now, they did not say jack. Now is the time of the South, and then the Northerners feel entitled, like as if not only them get the right to rule for that country. Hell to the no. Instead make that one happen, make the country divide. Yes, let it divide. Enough is enough. Look at the suffer a lot of us have suffered just because of one northern agenda. Look at the suffer. Blame the British all you want, but look at all the suffer when we don't suffer. We are not moving backwards. We are not moving forward. Now back. We don't dey go since. I beg, God forbid though. No, I beg. Talk of article out of the freaking window. Please. Everybody stand tall. This time is the time of the South. I want to see only Southern people coming out to contest. Only Southerners. I don't want to see any Northerners. And it's inconsequential. May they wait till 2031. If article still dey strong, 20 may come out. We go listen to her at that time. Nonsense. It's very annoying. Michael, welcome. They won't come tighten their fully aligned agenda because they know say they don't get bad PR. Whose fault is that? When they had the opportunity to stop it, why did they not stop it? Why did they let it get out of hand? I beg, living off the north, leeching off of it for centuries. I'm sorry. No, it's enough. When we get oil, we know they enjoy it. We know they enjoy it. Nothing, no benefit from all the oil when we get. Are you people not tired of it as Southerners? People should not become lame dogs to these people. This is the time for you to stand tall. Don't you see what's going on? They don't even rate you Southerners. With all the book one that they read now, people when they wear rubber slippers, they dictate to now what to do. Marry 20 wives, they represent now for Senate. Are you people okay? Kenny, you're not serious. He said the jazz and the suya. You know what? Probably right. You're probably right. Yeah, that's suya. They don't put something. It's true because they don't say Southerners like suya. Now make me talk. Boycott meat, boycott nama, boycott cows, greed. Olojuko Korono go let them boycott her. Don't buy no freaking cow. May they go chop their cow themselves. Charles Smith, if I dey make noise, what you can they do for my comment section now? Why are you here? If it is noise to you, why are you here? Why? Must you type your ignorance inside my comment section? And so now go the dumb deaf people. Must you type in my comment section? I'm telling you. I beg, Abi, go and rest. Go and rest. That one you disagree for inside your pocket. It's the turn of the South. There's no going back on that. If we're talking about qualification, no Northerner supposed to be president. None. Not one. Because they're not qualified. None of them don't qualify. So please, don't even start with that. If we're talking about that, Northerners will not touch. They're for not even near the door of power. Did you see the video I played? Issa Bako video? You people don't know what power means. You people don't know. You people do not know. That's why you people take it for granted. Look at what you are saying. This is even an ignorant comment you are making. These people have taken full advantage of you people. Una don't turn, una be like slaves for their eye. That's why they see you people like that. They don't see una finish. They not rate una. I beg you. See your defense minister. See his certificate when he become defense minister. See the certificate. Are you people not ashamed? If not by qualification, no Northerner qualify. None. Quota system when they say they will require 200 from you, they require 30 from them. Is that how you people want to? I beg, let me leave this here because the thing does dey annoy me right now. Make I not go talk wetin I not supposed to talk. Maybe this one when I don't talk now, some people go dey boil, but they not get wetin they fit do. They not get wetin they cannot do jack. Beg. My dear. Hey, Mr. Omoye, welcome. Oh. They don't give alert say some communities that they can't raid them for different places for Plateau State and the rest. Now that one we can't talk about today. And then the election, the ADC they threaten. They say ADC they say make that they wait for Peter Obi. Peter Obi never say the door go soon close, window go soon. That's make they shut the door, close the window. If ADC is not ready, if they do not see the impact of Peter Obi, say now Peter Obi be the surest ticket for them to get to Aso Rock, they should forget about it. Atiku will never ever be president. With that, I beg, make I leave una. I don't try for today. I don't try pass as I even say I go try. My people, it's been real. Oh, thank you very much. AB, go and drink water. Go and drink cold water. Okay. First of all, go and gargle. Gargle with like Listerine. Or with what is that they call them? Baking, and baking powder and baking soda, and this thing. Go and gargle. Okay. I beg. Why I go rest? Why should PO rest until next election? PO should not rest nada. Atiku should go and rest. That's who you should be talking to, not PO. Abeg, we need the best. The things that will make that country work na Peter Obi. Any other thing na counterfeit. Abeg, why will I want you dead? You dey make me vex, AB. I don't want you, God forbid. Merit, no. When you dey talk say not be the turn of, it's the turn of the south. That's what it is now. It is the turn of the south. Northern are not supposed to put in head. It's the turn. Let only southern people come out. I beg. Kidding? Oh my God. American soldiers don't land. I dey hear say they don't land though. Some people they tell me, but I don't know. We never see real this thing, sha. It's still no real videos first. So I don't know. Allegedly, that's what I heard. Thank you very much for liking Mr. Omoye. But we don't know yet now. We don't know yet. We don't know what's happening. So we can't just shut it off like that. So for me, or left to me, the country, we should divide that country. To be quite honest with you. We should divide. So so make I go gaggle. It's a very strange thing. Time to join party. Time to join party day. Exactly. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate Michael, Kene, AB, even though you make me very small today, but that's okay. Everyone that was able to join me. Mr. Omoye, Tato, my darling, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys on my next one. Good night. Bye.